Her message arrived at 6:47 p.m., just 8 words. They want to talk, don't make this hard. No explanation, no context, just the familiar tone, calm on the surface, sharpened underneath. I stared at the screen while the apartment hummed with the low electrical buzz of a place built for two people who no longer breathed in sync. The air felt still, too still, as if holding its breath for something already decided. I typed nothing back. 10 minutes later, she walked in. Her footsteps were quick, purposeful, like someone preparing to negotiate a hostage situation, except I was the hostage and she was aligned with the captors. She didn't take off her shoes, she didn't sit. "They're serious this time," she said. "They want to know if you'll help. It's not a big deal, just a small loan from our savings." Our savings? I let the words settle like cold ash. I murmured, "A loan for their crypto disaster?" Not a question, just the final thread between us snapping. Her jaw tightened. "They said if you cared about this family, you'd support them. And they said—" Her voice faltered before it hardened again. "What? That I need to choose, them or you." A quiet silence filled the room, stretching thin and sharp. "And?" I asked. She swallowed, looked away. "I choose them." The buzzing in my head stopped. Everything stopped, except the part of me that finally, quietly understood. I used to think betrayal arrived loudly, explosive, shattering, cinematic. But hers came quietly, wrapped in obligation, presented as loyalty. I watched her avoid my eyes, arms crossed defensively, as if shielding herself from a truth she had built herself upon. I studied her face, the furrow between her brows, the faint tremor in her hands, the way she exhaled as if relieved to have finally chosen a side. Not ours, not mine, theirs. Her parents who had gambled half their retirement on a guaranteed 300% return and lost everything. Her brother, who believed crypto is just misunderstood, still recording motivational videos in his bedroom. Her entire family, calling me the logical one, the smart one, the one who should fix it. I should have seen it earlier, the shifting tone, the late-night calls, the way she spoke more about helping blood than building a future. But denial is comfortable, and I wore it well. She kept talking, something about temporary help, uniting as a family, not abandoning them. But her voice sounded distant, muffled, like it was coming from another room, another world. When she finally stopped, she waited for my reaction. But I felt nothing, only a cold, precise clarity. This wasn't about money. This was about hierarchy, about who she believed I was in her life. A convenient resource, a financial life raft, a placeholder until her real family called her back. "So," she said finally, "are you willing?" Her eyes held hope, not for us, but for what I could give them. "No," I said, "not anymore." For the first time that night, she looked afraid. After that conversation, I didn't argue. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't demand explanations or apologies. I simply studied her behavior, her words, her choices. She began sleeping at her parents' house more often, claiming they needed support. She guarded her phone. She avoided discussing money. She treated me like an obstacle she needed to maneuver around, not a husband she needed to speak to. I observed everything quietly, the way a surgeon studies an X-ray before making the first cut. One evening, while she showered, her phone lit up with a group message from her family. "Good. Stand firm. Make him pay his part. Keep pressure on him. He'll break eventually. If he won't help, then he's not real family." Pressure, break, real family. The language of extraction, not partnership. I scrolled further. A message from her earlier that day. "He's pretending to stay calm. I think he'll cave soon." Pretending. Cave. Interesting. I kept scrolling until I reached the line that carved a clean, deep line through my chest. "If he doesn't pay, I don't care anymore. I'll just side with you guys." No hesitation, no conflict, no grief. Just a transaction. I locked her phone and placed it exactly where she'd left it. That night I didn't sleep. I lay still, staring at the blank ceiling, waiting for the emotion that never came. Anger didn't arrive, hurt didn't either. Only a cold, disciplined silence that spread through my body like winter. By morning, I knew what I had to do. I spent the next 2 days preparing, not reacting, planning. I collected documents, moved funds, secured accounts, filed paperwork. On the third evening, when the pieces aligned, I did what she never expected. I walked into the courthouse and filed for divorce. That same night, I packed everything I owned, everything I bought, everything she had never noticed but always used. When I closed the door behind me, the apartment echoed with a silence that felt strangely clean. She returned 3 days later. I was sitting in my new place, bare walls, fresh air, no memories, when my phone erupted with frantic calls. Then a message. "Where are you? Why is everything gone?" I let her panic breathe for 20 minutes before replying. "You chose them. I respected it." Her response arrived immediately. "What does that mean?" Instead of answering, I sent the court filing receipt. The typing bubble appeared, disappeared, reappeared, erratic, frantic. Then finally, "Are you serious? For this? Over money?" I exhaled slowly. Not money, choice. A minute later, she appeared outside my new door, pounding, calling my name like it still belonged to her. When I opened it, she saw the papers on the table. Divorce, asset separation, evidence of her family's manipulation, screenshots of her messages. Her face collapsed. You were spying on me?" "No," I said. "I was listening." She grabbed the papers, hands shaking. "This wasn't supposed to happen. I didn't mean—" "You meant every word you sent them." Her breath hitched. "How long have you known?" "Long enough." She stared at me as if seeing a stranger, someone colder, quieter, untouchable. And she was right. I wasn't the man she once manipulated. She reached for me, voice trembling. "We can fix this. Tell me what you want. We can talk to them. We can undo." I stepped back. "This is not a negotiation." Her eyes reddened. "I chose them because I thought you'd still be here." Exactly. Her entire world rested on the assumption that I would stay, endure, absorb, sacrifice. Her safety net, her certainty. She crumpled onto the couch, gripping the divorce papers as if they were burning her hands. "They told me you'd cave. They said you always choose peace." "I used to." She looked up. "And now?" "Now I choose myself." The words struck her harder than anything I could have shouted. She shook her head, desperate. "Please, don't do this. Don't walk away." "I already did," I said, "the moment you did." No theatrics, no anger, just fact. She broke, quietly, painfully, like a person realizing their gamble failed and the house always wins. Except this time, I was the house. I walked her to the door. She resisted for a moment, searching my face for something, anger, regret, softness. But there was nothing left for her to find. When she stepped into the hallway, I closed the door gently. Finality rarely needs noise. Later that night, I sat alone in the quiet. Not mourning, not reminiscing, just breathing in a space that finally felt like mine. I thought about the years I'd spent giving, absorbing, compromising. The ways I mistook tolerance for love. The ways she mistook my silence for weakness. Some betrayals arrive through affairs, others through lies. Hers arrived through choice, and that was enough. I didn't hate her. I didn't love her anymore either. I simply understood her, finally, fully. And understanding is the cleanest form of closure. She wanted a man who would sacrifice himself piece by piece to keep her family whole. I wanted a partner who saw me as more than a resource. We both got the truth in the end. I stood, opened the window, and let the cold night air wash over me. Clarity has a temperature, and tonight it felt perfect. As I turned off the lights, one final thought settled in my mind. Quiet, brutal, and complete. She didn't lose me when she chose them. She lost me when I stopped choosing her.